Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ricardo del California show. I'm here with my distinguished guest, Mr. Vince Guida. Vince, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Vince has an Instagram page called
SDFC Bros.
which stands for
San Diego FC.
San Diego Football Club. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is about the MLS, Major League Soccer Expansion, and how soccer is taking the United States by storm. Most Americans, when they think of soccer, they think of the World Cup every 4 years, and it's going to be in
2026.
And it's going to be where?
In the United States.
It's going to be back here. Last time it was here was in 1994.
That's right.
Now, it's really interesting. Soccer is the world sport, and more people watch soccer than any other sport. Now, most Americans don't think about soccer until next year, and then we kind of forget about it, and then we go on a merry way. When we think of soccer, we think of AYSO, club soccer for kids. And here in San Diego, we have something called SD Surf, and kids play it. Maybe you're going to get a college scholarship. There's some indoor teams, and I think that's what we know. Some people follow MLS, and if you watch the news, it's like 2 minutes, and then the rest is dedicated to hockey and football. Here in San Diego, we had a couple of great teams. We had the Chargers, went to LA. The Clippers, they went to
LA.
Yeah. And so right now we have, I think, a rugby team.
Right. We have a rugby team
called,
I believe, the Legion.
The Legion, yes. Yeah. And we also have our diehard, they're never going to leave us because we love them and they love us, the San Diego Padres. Of course, we have San Diego Soccer's indoor team, but we're now getting an MLS team called SDFC. It's going to be really interesting because soccer is, again, like taking the country by storm. And people here in the U.S., I don't think you realize how big soccer is around the world. When you watch the World Cup, once again, there's about 8 billion people. Over 1 billion people are watching that.
Absolutely.
People do watch the Super Bowl. It's really cool. They're going to watch the NBA playoffs. They're going to watch the...
Significantly less.
Way less. I think if you put them all together, it still wouldn't...
Yeah, I think I saw a graphic. You could put the combination of people who watch the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, and the
World Series.
The World Series combined still isn't even enough for the World Cup Finals. So
it's not.
That's the stage we're working with.
And just to let our viewers know, this is not to impugn, make fun of any other sport, but today is about soccer, and there might be another episode about football. Maybe when San Diego gets a football team again. We'll hope and pray. So, Vince, you are a soccer enthusiast. You played soccer in high school. You follow soccer. You follow international soccer. Primarily the Italian, what they call Serie A, which is the A League. If you were British, it would be the Premier League. And what's your team in Italy?
So my team in Italy is AC Milan.
Okay, we've had some amazing players, and some of them have played in the World Cup. Almost probably every player that they've went to the World Cup. Not every player, but they've represented that team. Now, what is really interesting about this is that Vince has a page on Instagram that follows events. And it follows events all over San Diego that are promoting the expansion and push for soccer in San Diego. We just got our team. We used to have the Charger Stadium, which was originally called Jack Murphy, and then it went to Qualcomm. It has since been demolished, and San Diego State has erected Snapdragon. Holds about 30,000+.
Yeah, 35,000.
And 35,000. And next year in 2025, I believe was it February, we are going to have San Diego's first MLS game. Now I'm excited. I'm going to have to get some tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Are tickets going on sale for season tickets or not yet?
Yeah, so season tickets are on sale right now. So
right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Get them. I'm sure if you go on their website, you can get all that information.
Right. So what's really interesting about all this, as we're moving forward with the soccer team, a lot is being going on in regards to San Diego because there is something called
Right to Dream.
Right to Dream. Right. And Right to Dream is basically a feeder league to Major League Soccer and soccer teams across the world, right?
Right. So the Right to Dream is a youth academy, which is kind of centered around obviously building up young players to play in professional leagues all around the world. So San Diego FC has built this fantastic initiative partnership with the Right to Dream Academy to work with all these different teams around the world, most notably FC Nordjylland, which is a team in the first division of the Danish league. So these guys have competed in, loads of competitions.
Yes.
The best of the European competitions, most recently the UEFA Conference League.
UEFA standing for?
UEFA stands for, I believe, the United European Football Association.
Right.
So it's really good that San Diego FC is partnering, because kind of the whole vision of San Diego FC is to kind of build, you know, young players and, you know, players from the youth academy. So the Right to Dream Academy is going to be super crucial for that vision for San Diego FC.
And for any, you know, MLS team or Premier League all around the world, because now that, you know, we're having an MLS team, we may be potentially getting players from all over the place.
Right.
We've got some players coming. Who are some of the players that we got right now?
Yeah, so the most recent signing is the Mexican international Chucky Lozano. So he's played in the Italian league, like we mentioned, for Napoli. He won the Serie A last season, which was a historic thing for Napoli. The first time since Diego Maradona played for Napoli. So that was the first time they won the championship. And, you know, Chucky Lozano was a part of that team. He won just last season the Dutch league with PSV, which is a team in that league as well. So yeah, he's a serial winner. So he knows how to win. So, you know, kind of building that foundation, you know, with just winners as one of our first serious signings is massive.
And that's great. We've had that. You know, when we think of soccer players, most Americans don't think about soccer unless they actually follow it. As mentioned, most Americans don't think about it until every 4 years, which will be next year or 2 years. 2 years, yeah. Which will be in the United States. It's going to be here. Would there be a game in maybe in LA? Maybe.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
We'll have to see.
Oh, yeah. I hope so.
Maybe at the Rose Bowl.
Hopefully, Italy plays in LA.
We're both Italians, so we're voting for them. Not that we don't want the U.S. to win.
Oh, of course.
I mean, anybody really who wants to do it, but that's some of our favorite teams. Here's the thing with the World Soccer stage, you know, we're bringing World Soccer to California. In San Diego, we've got the MLS team. We've got Galaxy. I think LA Galaxy really blew up. I mean, obviously they had Landon Donovan, which is a great American soccer player. And, of course, none other than Mr. David Beckham. There's a great documentary called Beckham on Netflix. Yeah. I saw the whole thing. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was super good. Kind of gives you an insight to how, you know, players kind of feel and stuff like that in that stage.
It does, in their life and their development. Of course, he married Posh Spice, and she was in the Spice Girls. Gotta love the Spice Girls. So anyways, but David Beckham came from one of these feeder teams, a youth team, and became an international male model and basically just symbol for soccer.
Yeah, he's him. And
he is him.
He's him. So, and what was super good...
What's his Florida team called?
Inter Miami.
Inter Miami.
And, I mean, if you haven't known, I feel like I see it all over Instagram and everything. They've signed Lionel Messi, which is regarded as Messi. So Messi is playing in MLS, so he will be playing against San Diego FC. So, you know, you have the
chance. Gives me goosebumps.
Yeah,
all these major soccer players.
It's crazy. You know, Messi, even though he's kind of towards the tail end of his career, but I mean, a tail end of a career, Messi is still miles, head and shoulders above any other player.
So you know, who else is coming to San Diego?
So, like I mentioned, Chucky Lozano. We're also going to have 2 players from that Danish team I mentioned, FC Nordsjælland. Jep Surskov, which is a center defensive mid, and also Marcus Ingvarsson. So he's a striker. So
this is an international stage coming to San Diego.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're going to be able to pull players from anywhere. You know, I think San Diego FC has the great financial backing as well to kind of pull players, top class players from, you know, different leagues in Europe, South America, even, you know, in Major League Soccer itself.
And I think one of the things about, again, the MLS Soccer expansion and the entrance into San Diego market at Snapdragon Stadium is this is also going to bring a lot of people, obviously from Los Angeles, going to bring people from Mexico, Tijuana, northern Mexico. A lot of people are going to be coming here. It's going to infuse tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars into the San Diego economy. And it's going to give San Diego's more options for some more sports.
Got our lovely ladies over there, the San Diego Wave.
Which is women's MLS.
Which is, the women's league. I believe it's called the USWL, so United Soccer Women's League.
Yep. And they're pretty good.
They're very good. Yeah. I think, me personally, I think they have the best female, I'll say the best female player of, you could say of all time, Alex Morgan. So World Cup winner for the United States.
And she plays in San Diego.
And she plays in San Diego. So
San Diego's the place to be, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, why else wouldn't you want to come to San Diego?
Right. Yeah, right. Absolutely. So I think it's just going to be another platform for more tourism coming in. I mean, we've already got the San Diego Zoo. We've got San Diego Wild Animal Park. We've got SeaWorld. We've got that. You know, we've got Balboa Park. We've got the beaches. We've got our historic downtown, Gaslamps. And now we're bringing world-class soccer I mean, the reason why I say world, because people are going to be flying in here from different countries to see games, to see there's a lot of diehard people that are going to be flying in from different places to see their fit, like a Messi or these Danish players that you mentioned, or Chucky coming in from Mexico. So it's just going to bring a lot of international flavor into San Diego, and it's really an exciting thing. What's going to happen with soccer now? SDFC.
Bros.
Yeah. Bro. I'm excited to see where you guys are going to go because they're at all the events. And if somebody wants to subscribe to you on Instagram, they would go to
SDFC Bros.
It's right there on the screen. Okay. I just put it up. And you can kind of get some snippets, some interviews. You can see who's going to be on the team. And they are really kind of the tip of the sword for SDFC because I don't think there's another page out there, is there?
I mean, there are some pages out there.
Not as good as his.
We like to, kind of collaborate and kind of just build a community.
Not a competition.
Right, yeah.
But coming in together.
Right, absolutely.
Fan base.
Just building a community for San Diego and soccer in San Diego is, kind of the thing that we want to do the most here at SDFC Bros. And, we're, one of the many pages on Instagram to talk about news for San Diego FC, transfers, and so on.
Yeah, and as the season goes on, I'm hoping. I'm just throwing out there. This is a promotion for this page. Okay, hopefully this turns into a YouTube thing. If you guys have the time available to maybe do some highlights and do some interviewing more fans, so it's going to expand it from Instagram and maybe it's SDFC Bros YouTube again. We will see how this goes, but I see it going there. Now, for you, let's just take a little bit of a backstory on you, Vince. How did you start playing soccer?
So, obviously, coming from an Italian background, both my parents...
we're kind of born with soccer balls.
Right, yeah.
When you come out of the hospital in Italy, they pasta and a soccer ball. It's stereotypical.
Soccer in Italy is a religion, and, thankfully my dad introduced me to the sport of soccer. He was a Juventus FC supporter.
Where's Juventus from?
Juventus is a team from Torino, which is the north of Italy.
For Americans.
Turin, right. In Torino, Juventus is the best club. I mean, respectfully, I'm a Milan fan. Juventus is a rival of mine, but respectfully, I think Juventus is one of the most popular teams in Italy. So, so that was kind of my introduction into soccer. And, this might be a little sinful, but, I used to be a Juventus FC fan, but then, kind of more exploring the sport and everything like that, I kind of just had an attachment towards AC Milan, and I've never looked back.
I don't think anybody can go wrong being AC Milan fan.
So.
I know my father, God bless his soul, when he used to be alive, we had a satellite. We had this one Italian channel at like 4 or 5 in the morning. He's there watching the game. And his favorite team was Palermo down in Sicily, and I don't know if they still in Serie A.
So they're in Serie B, which is the second division in Italy, and they almost got to Serie A this season, but they lost a promotion game. So hopefully we can see Palermo back in Serie A soon.
Hopefully, one of the things that's really interesting though, like if teams keep losing, even in America,
you go lower.
You go lower, then eventually you can come back. Yeah. So I'm really excited about this, and this is something that's really great because it's going to bring people together. People are going to be making new friend connections. I mean, probably, could you imagine like the first couple that gets married at
a game?
It will happen. It'll happen.
Yeah.
I remember in '92, I saw you two at it was not Qualcomm, it was Jack Murphy Stadium, and they had got married and they went on the catwalk and Bono sang to them. So we've already had a married couple, like just newly married at a rock concert, but now we're going to see this. And also all the fan merch that's going to be made.
Right.
And then the people who are going to make all of the counterfeit stuff.
Oh my God, I'm sure.
It's $20 when you walk in and $10 when you leave, and then $5 at the gate when you're going. Like, just take it, man.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really great. And I'm also kind of wondering, you might see some musical talent at the games. You don't know.
I'm sure. Could be.
It could be. I think one of the things about soccer that's so exciting is this is just going to bring people together. People are going to make new friends, new connections. People are going to start dating. They're going to meet at the games. It's going to be a pickup place.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think
you have to be a soccer fan.
Right. I think San Diego FC is pushing a great initiative to bring people from all sorts of backgrounds to San Diego. Obviously, we have such a big Mexican population.
Huge.
And I think, part of the reason why San Diego has so much, or rather San Diego FC has so much support is because that culture in Mexico as well, much like in Italy, it's a religion over there.
Yeah, I hope we can get some Brazilian players.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be.
Is Ronaldinho still playing?
Ronaldinho, unfortunately, isn't playing, but
I'm a little. You see, you got to keep me up to date because I haven't followed. How about Ronaldo? Is he gone too?
The Brazilian Ronaldo or the Portuguese Ronaldo?
How about the Brazilian?
The Brazilian Ronaldo, no, unfortunately, but Portuguese Ronaldo.
I am way back. This is how far I go back because when Vince and I started talking about this, like last year, I started to think about, like, I really didn't keep up with soccer. So I'm thinking about, the team from like 1994, 1998.
Yeah, Brazil.
No, the Italian team.
Oh yeah, I mean that was
Who were some of the big Italian players? Because they won the cup in what, 90?
So Italy went to the final in 1994, and we actually played Brazil in a penalty shootout. We boasted the names of guys like Roberto Baggio, which for me is the best Italian player of all time.
Yeah.
Likes of Paolo Maldini, Franco Baresi, Dino Zoff, and just the list
goes on
forever.
And then we have the 2006 team that won in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing France.
France in the final. You had Zinedine Zidane, and then
the headbutt.
Italy equalizes. We win on penalty shootout. So that was
iconic. Who was our goalie? We had an amazing goalie.
Gianluigi Buffon, which again for me is the best goalkeeper of all time.
Buffon, yeah, he was really good. And we had what are some other big players then?
Other great players: Andrea Pirlo, Rino Gattuso, Francesco Totti. Just the list. Italy back in the day was star-studded from bottom to top.
Right.
Unfortunately, we're not that star-studded anymore, but
they'll get there.
We'll get there,
and maybe we'll get kids from Italy. I mean, I'd like to see players from all over the world, not just Italy, France, Spain, Asia, all over the place, and just building an international, just like powerhouse of a soccer team. So it's kind of like who's going to get on the roster, who's coming to San Diego. And I think, who would be our rival? Is it going to be Galaxy now?
So there's been a lot of talks. There's been a lot of talks. Yeah. So obviously LA Galaxy would be a good one. Also, the other expansion team in LA was LAFC. So they got two teams in LA. Again. So they got another team.
LA has to have two of everything. They have 4 million and we've got 2 million.
Right.
I love LA, by the way.
Right.
So even baseball.
Oh my God. They got the Angels, the Dodgers. Right. Yeah. So they got tons of teams in LA. But shout out to our guys at Exquisite Football. They kind of made a little shout of San Jose Earthquake. So maybe a little rivalry there can kind of San Jose crowd be in the works, so take a little turn for the best. So yeah, there could be loads. I mean, of teams on the East Coast as well could be our rivals, but I think.
But one of the things I really, really, really love about the sport, it brings families together.
Right.
Kids, boys and girls alike, get to start playing on soccer teams, and sometimes they become the Ronaldinho. They become
for sure
Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky Lozano.
I got to get that name right because I got to know the name because I'll be at the game like there was that guy from Denmark. I got to get the names right. But I'm just really excited to see what's going to happen and ultimately bringing families, friends, and new friends together here in San Diego. And when this comes, the season starts, get your tickets. San Diego Football Club is coming now. Do we have a logo yet, Vince?
Yeah, so San Diego FC has a logo.
Can you show us? I think you have a t-shirt.
He
happened to bring one.
So the logo isn't on the shirt, but this is a piece of merch that I got from one of the events in Santee. So you see, San Diego Football Club. And then this was an exclusive shirt. So
now, I like this because they have the San Diego Zoo and the
yeah, so I mean, this is just a map of San Diego. So you got like Legoland up there. You got Chula Vista. You got like the Santee Drive-In. And like El Cajon and stuff like that. So I think what's super great, what San Diego FC is doing is they're incorporating all these different communities in San Diego. Like I said, they had an event out in Santee where I got that shirt.
Sure.
And they have,
events East County, North County, Central San Diego. Everybody's coming together. So hopefully it brings some unity in our city and bringing the different parts of the county.
Right.
So here's the formula. Next year, you got to come out to a game. You got to get yourself a ticket.
Yeah, support is mandatory for San Diego.
We need to support it because we can't afford to have another team leave us again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going
to LA of all places.
Right, yeah, no. I
love LA.
I think San Diego FC is really kind of making that a priority, being that team in Major League Soccer, right? Out the gate, we want to win. And, by them pushing these initiatives of signing guys like Chucky Lozano, a serial winner,
and
right?
The Danish guys.
In Napoli, and then in the Dutch league, and then obviously the Danish guys as well. They've had their fair share of success as well.
Right.
So San Diego FC is pushing a great initiative to make that push to win silverware.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing thing. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for watching the Ricardo del California show. If you saw what you liked today, please subscribe, and I will definitely see you real soon. And if you're on Instagram, please subscribe to
SDFC Bros. So we post anything San Diego FC, news, transfers, you name it, we have it here at SDFC Bros.
And potentially a YouTube fan page.
Potentially YouTube, possibly in the future. So just kind of stay tuned for that as well.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you at an SDFC football game next February.
Next February.
All right, take care. You're watching the Ricardo del California show. If you like what you saw today, please subscribe, and I'll see you real soon.